Yo, what is up, guys? Luke Callahan, or the Disc Golf Kid here. I am joined by Big Jerm. Thanks for coming.
First off, I don't approve of the Seattle hat. Just gotta say that right off the top. Go Panthers. I think we're playing right now, actually, so I don't know when you're watching this video right now, but the Panthers just started their rout of the Seattle Seahawks on December, what do we got here? What day is it?
15th?
Yeah.
16th?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so the first question is, not obviously, but a bunch of people saw the video that I posted about your final round at USDGC. Can you talk us through that? What was going through your head?
Sure. I believe I was in 11th place. I was on third card going into the last round, and I think really the main thing in my head was I knew that the conditions were going to be a little bit cooler. The first couple rounds were really, really hot, as you might remember, and but it was a little bit windier, and so the conditions were a little bit different. You know, like as the tournament progresses, you kind of get used to the conditions, and when something abruptly changes, it kind of changes your game plan a little bit, just because the wind's coming from a different direction, perhaps, or whatever. And so I didn't know that scores were going to be as bad. I don't want to call them bad, but as high as they were. I thought that the scores would still stay relatively in the low 60s, and I never really honestly thought that I had a real fighting chance at coming back and being close at the end, just because everyone was playing so consistent. But
and then James,
yeah,
17.
Yep. And then it just kind of was crazy. Almost everything that I needed to happen towards the end started happening, and it was crazy how it all unfolded. But really, going into the last round, my only goal was to just kind of finish in the top 5. I was trying to get in the top 10 at first, and then I realized I was playing well enough that I might be in position for top 5. And then just right at the very end, going into the approach on hole 18, I was in 4th place at the time, but I was still like 7 strokes back of James or something like that.
Yeah.
So the win wasn't really realistic. In my eyes, the only thing I wanted to do was to avoid a disastrous mistake and throw out of bounds and take a big number. So I just played it safe, played for the par, and I got the par, realizing about 45 minutes to an hour later that one stroke ended up being the difference between going to a playoff. But
Yep.
I left with really mixed feelings, as I played incredibly well, jumped a bunch of spots, tied for 2nd place, but at the same time, I guess I learned something at the age of 34, that you're never out of it. You just got to keep fighting all the way through, and you never know when things are going to fall your way.
Right. So we are out at the Tupelo Bay Disc Golf Open in Myrtle Beach. You just took down the win. It's a B tier, I think. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
How's that feel? You said it was your first win since March 2018. So talk us through how that feels also.
It feels really, really good, man. It was like it's been the longest drought of my career, probably times 3. I've never had a season without a win, and this is the last tournament of the decade. And I had no wins in 2019, so I really, like the last couple of weeks leading up to this event, I went out and focused on some things that would help me out here, and just mentally prepared more than anything else. It is a B tier. There's not a ton of touring players out here to contend with. Johnny McRae was signed up, but he had to back out last season for, I think, health reasons. Last second for health reasons. So anyways, I just really, really, really focused on trying to win this event. I lost last year in a playoff, but Tupelo Bay is special to me. It's the one tournament that I've played every year that I've been a PDGA member, going back to 2007. And it's been the very last tournament I've played every year also. Okay. So it's a special place for me.
So they're going to get to see the final round that you just played. I don't know if it's going to be before or after this.
Okay. But
you shot your hottest round of the tournament. How did that feel? Were you trying to step on the gas pedal and run away with it, or were you trying to play a little safer?
I don't think I was necessarily trying to play safer. I think that the reason I got off to a big lead was because my game plan was, I don't want to call it safe, but it was comfortable. And if I try to start changing the shots that are comfortable, that's when I make more mistakes. So I just try to do the same thing that I had done before. And really, like almost every hole out on the course, I was getting about the same score, like plus or minus 1. There wasn't any like dramatic, like, oh, I bogeyed this one and I birdied another round. Like it was pretty much basically, if I parred it one round, I parred the next round. If I birdied it, I birdied it again. Yeah. And so I just tried to basically keep track of that. And the only difference is I just did one stroke better on the short 9. And other than that, I shot the same 18 over there, all 3 rounds. and I shot 6 down, and then today I shot 7 down on the short nine. So I mean, it was basically, like I said, 3 of the same exact rounds. And the game plan never really changed throughout the whole tournament.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you for joining me, Jerm. Everyone go check out his Tour Series Swirly Thunderbird.
Oh yeah, definitely check
those
those
things
out.
are really money. He was throwing them a lot at the USDGC, actually.
I threw a bunch out here, yeah.
Yeah, did you birdie hole 1 every time? Or the new hole 1 at USDGC?
Oh,
I think you did.
I don't remember. I think
Okay.
I did.
Well, it was close. What? Okay, so Jerm birdied hole 17 at the USDGC all 4 rounds in a row. What was your game plan on that hole? And have you ever done something similar to that?
No. I had a lot of success in that hole as far as just keeping it in the island. And then there was like a 2-year stretch where I did not have very much success. But this year, I just took my mortar, and I actually had a backup came in my bag that I was going to throw in the hole because I didn't want to lose my mortar. But the last second, every round, I was like, no, I'm just going to stick with my disc that I trust the most. And I went with that. And a couple of times, I think he recorded a couple of them. I threw them in at very first second, like as it left my hand, I like did a little spin because I wasn't quite sure if I hung it out over the water too much. But the trusty mortar hyzered back every time. And I don't think I was ever outside the circle, which it blew my mind. I honestly, I'm not trying to do anything crazy in that hole. I'm just trying to keep it in bounds. And if I'm like 30 feet right of the basket, great. But I just happened to maybe miss my shot by 30 feet to the left and park it. So that was pretty cool.
All right, thank you again for joining me, Jerm.
My pleasure,
Anything you
Luke.
want to shout out for the end of the video?
Oh, this is the best caddy in the world, man. This guy kept me level-headed throughout the whole tournament, and I really appreciated it. And we're looking forward to winning the USDGC in 2020.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, thank you guys for watching the video. If you're new, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, comment a future video, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.